In terms of what Marcellus Wiley said, now that I will address directly. And I only have one thing to say.
Why is Stephen A. overcompensating like this? This is years later. Why is this classic insecurity on display still? It's okay, Stephen A. You ain't perfect, bro. You just the man right now, but you ain't perfect.
For a black man to sit up there and say another black man is scared of somebody's intellect. Come on, bro. That's just the line you cross.
Stephen A. Smith has responded to former ESPN host Marcellus Wiley's comments.
He started to realize he was getting outshined in those conversations. Outshined for these reasons, and I know these reasons. Because Max Kellerman is not only a historian, he has a degree in history from Columbia University, same school I went to, Ivy League school. But the dude is a bona fide genius.
That's sad that he would go that route. I guess that he's going to get attention because obviously everybody watches The Breakfast Club every chance we get, and he's going to see, talk about it. I'm certainly not going to argue with him. I've always had a lot of respect for him. Me and Marcellus Wiley have never had one issue. And I don't care what support he has for his boy or anybody else. I get that. I support my boys too. But I would never in a million years say that one black man is scared of the intellect of a white man.
And hated hearing this. Thus, on The Breakfast Club, he spoke out against Wiley.
Stephen A. realized quickly that he was dealing with a whole different animal, especially on black issues, especially on societal issues, especially at that time as we're nearing going closer to George Floyd, to pandemic, and Colin Kaepernick was already on the scene. He started to realize he was getting outshined in those conversations.
And for him to do something like that, that's on him. Y'all have known me for years. The business has known me for years. I've been on national television with the #1 debate show on television for the last 12 straight years and counting. I've been winning, but more importantly, I've been in a bubble, in the public eye, on national television every day.
Notice how he's sidestepping here.
Stephen A. wanted Max for very specific reasons. Now, I'm going to say these reasons, and everybody's going to have a reaction. He wanted Max first because he was white. He wanted Max second because he was intelligent. He wanted Max third because Max can speak on all things.
We've had disagreements, saying the whole bit. Y'all have never questioned my intelligence.
No.
Ever.
Never. Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, I get it. I understand it. There's a lot of brilliant brothers out there. Max is one of them. Genius. Absolutely true. And a good brother, too. Good dude, rather. And I get that. But to me, forget all that. I wish him nothing but the best. I ain't rooting against anybody. I'm rooting for him. I'm even rooting for Marcellus. I don't want him to fail. But if I ever saw him again, one-on-one, it would be like a black man going in a public platform and saying another black man is scared.
Where Wiley was direct, Smith would choose to play up himself. Here's my take. When I see Stephen A. Smith continuing to go back to the well, even when he's asked about this, he's just not going to look good. The public has made up their mind. Sports fans have come to the conclusion. The ratings can say whatever Stephen A. wants them to say because he dictates how the show goes, and that is fine. They were already #1 when Max was there. The difference was, as Wiley pointed out in a later video, Stephen A. was getting crushed on socio-political issues. That's what it was. And the assertion that Stephen A. made about Marcellus being buddy-buddy with Max, Marcellus made it very clear they are not buddy-buddy. He just knows Max's background because they work together. Shout out ESPN LA, I believe it's 7:10 a.m. And then I think they were together, not on Sports Nation, but on another show. And Stephen A. didn't address it. Instead, he pivoted to, I have debated Cornel West. I have debated Michael Eric Dyson. I have debated all of these scholars. Like, that's cool. And we think that it's great, but these are two different conversations. It's the debate of, it's the topic of, I debated Cornel West and Michael Eric Dyson, and I held my own. To you, you held your own. If we've known anything about Stephen A., we know that he thinks he always holds his own well. He can't even make a proper apology when he spouts xenophobia about Shohei Ohtani and mispronouncing Nigerian basketball players' names. And the other separate topic that he decided to combine was, I've debated these scholars, and I'm not afraid to debate anybody. There's a difference here. Marcellus was saying you were scared to continue getting your behind handed to you on that show every day because Max, as both men have respectively said in their own words, is a genius. He's a history major. He knows this stuff. And when it came to all three of those things happening, the pandemic, George Floyd, the protests, one lived up to the moment and the other one didn't. And it looked bad. And Stephen A. was embarrassed for it. But instead of saying anything of the like, anything of the sort, it pivoted to, how can you say that about me? And Marcellus, which we'll do another clip on, wisely said, you talk about black athletes like this all the time. And suddenly it's off limits for me to do so. We're going to get to this shortly. But this is something that is simply not dying. Yet every time I see it brought up on social media, YouTube clips, tweets underneath, the comments are just, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? The best thing for Stephen A., it's a double-edged sword. The best thing for him would be to play up Shannon Sharp, would be to play up Molly Qerim, continue going with the ratings, yada, yada. But he simply can't help himself from bringing up Max. Or I'm sorry, if the question gets asked, he simply can't help himself to defend his own self. That's how big of an ego he has. When we all know it's just not playing well, the other side of the coin is it trends. And he knows that it trends. He also knows that he needs to stay in the limelight of those who don't watch First Take every day, either when Max left or prior to that or during this transition. And he's doing it intentionally.